Welcome to Logistics Executive TV. We're here with Lincoln Frost, the founder and managing director of Allcap Securities. Lincoln, good
Thanks
to
for
be
having us, Dom.
Great. Now, Lincoln, you're undertaking a massive infrastructure project when it comes to all things supply chain for the Australian market and the entry of the Australian market into the entire Asia market as well.
Yes.
Could you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, IPG is it is a $17 billion project over many years, but essentially the core pieces of it is logistics infrastructure to support trade flows in and out of Australia, and that's rail, port, and all the sort of tangential opportunities around that. It's the Central Queensland is very, I think, underinvested in. There's a big opportunity there. There's a lot of natural resources, a lot of food resources. And really what IPG brings is the ability to create those trade flows, and leverage that resource.
Perfect. And you're embarking on an acquisition of your own tier 2 construction and engineering company. That's amazing. How would that fit into the entire project?
Yeah, so the way we looked at it is very much from a risk and downside protection, execution risk, delivery risk, financial risk, and one of the delivery risk components is really controlling a lot of your program delivery wherever possible. So we have a series of acquisitions that we've lined up as part of that strategy. And the first is a 33-year-old tier 2, absolutely best in class EPC contracting firm. They predominantly have worked with government clients. They're a 33-year-old business, as I mentioned. Fantastic GP margin, but absolutely incredible at what they do. And what we seek to do with that is they have their own fantastic pipeline, but we are acquiring 100% of that business. Its brand and team won't change, but we will utilize them to self-perform as many parts of our project as we can.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Now, is there an opportunity to co-invest or get involved from an Allcap Securities perspective into this business?
Yeah, there is. So we've structured the whole framework around different sorts of investments for different types of investors, from the multi-billion-dollar rail type projects to the cold storage or inland port or industrial park. So from a co-investment perspective, we do have a live opportunity in for this business. We're issuing a $27 million investment for 44%. So it's an equity co-investment into this particular EPC contractor. There's around about $10 million left of that allocation, and it's very much we've broken up between institutional investment and we allow some for wholesale investors. So the opportunity is there for a strategic partner to come in, one that may have an interest in the broader project, or individual financial investors that want exposure to a 33-year-old business, fantastic margins, strong dividend yield, but also great growth upside.
Excellent. Now, with Interport Global obviously undertaking this infrastructure project, how are you working through this and managing risks throughout the entire development?
Thankfully, it's not all me. So there's a very experienced team around us from Grant Flexer, who's worked on currently working on as project director on multi-billion-dollar projects. Jason O'Hara, who's delivered single projects that are in excess of more than our stage 1 from a single project. But it's really about bringing together a team that is like world class, and we call them weapons grade, because they certainly are. People had the experience, had the difficulties and the challenges of previous jobs, and all that's coming together to really take a sensible approach to this project. So the delivery risk is one, only your contractors, but also we've got under terms to acquire a quarry, concrete batch plant, another EPC firm, a big builder, and a strategic partnership to establish our shipping service. All those things we see as delivery mitigation risk.
Excellent. Now, obviously, for our audience, what could a typical investor expect when it comes to getting involved in this type of investment and infrastructure project itself?
Because it's a good question, Don. So because there has so many different investment opportunities and layers, the whole thing won't suit one particular investor. So there's going to be horses for courses. So this particular investment here will suit anyone that's looking for access to an Australian business. It's forecast to pay a 10% dividend yield. We believe on their own pipeline, outside of our influence, about 2.5 to 3.5 times your capital back over 3 to 4 years, plus the dividend stream. But really, if someone's interested in coming in and having a chat to us, we'd love to sort of understand what your mandate is, what your interests are, and where you could fit into our capital program, because it is vast and it is diverse.
Great. And to keep it all very simple, again, for anyone wanting to invest, what would be their next steps? Who would they contact and how it work?
Pick up the phone. So it's probably just an email to myself or a phone call.
Yep.
Our investment director, Johan Kenny, is running lead on a lot of the more technical questions. Myself, more so on the wholesale investor facing side. Cameron Perrott is our institutional capital. I guess he's our lead in our face. So I think this initial phone call into us, understand a bit about who you are, and I can unpack a bit more about what we're doing, and then to kind of connect the right dots and people in our team.
Nice and simple. Lincoln Frost, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dom.
Very good. Thanks for joining us on Logistics Executive TV.